Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't guessed by now, a lot of times people will watch wrestling on Tuesdays, but myself, I do awesome interviews with awesome people. Welcome to the Game Changer. I am indeed Nate the effing Great, and I'm being joined here by the one, the only, the extraordinary, and very talented, one and only, Mr. Rob Fury. Welcome, good sir.
Hello, what is up, my friend? Hi. It is a blast to be back on here again. And since I am going back into the ring in a couple of months, I guess I need to introduce me as my wrestling persona. So here it goes. I am the mogul of hotness, the king of sexy, the crown prince of damn, you're so fine, the number one reason why the divorce rate in the United States is so high, the reason your women dreams of the other guy at night, and wrestling's number one cosplayer, the ASS American superstar, Rob Fury, is in your ear tube. So ladies and gentlemen, listen up, because it's about to be a bumpy, funny ride, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just state for the fact right now that after that intro, I want Velveteen Dream versus Rob Fury to happen. Have them make that a dream match. Hashtag book it, WWE. Just book it, damn it. So
the dream has no memory of that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, Rob Fury was actually a part of both my Money in the Bank as well as my NXT TakeOver Chicago review a few months ago. And I thought, you know what? He's really cool. He's one of those guys I really enjoy talking to, so wanted to get him on the show, basically to give you guys a bit more perspective as to who he is, the man behind the, extraordinariness that he exuberates. So, first question I have for you, Mr. Rob Fury, is that a lot of people on Facebook especially know that you definitely do a lot of cosplays. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of cosplays, which is amazing. I mean, let's go on from, a Nick Fury to Ant-Man to a lot of other characters. So what got you so interested in cosplaying, and what keeps that passion burning in your body to this day?
The reason why I cosplay is because it all started back when I was back in 2015 when I moved to Chicago, and my lady was just like, okay, let's go to this Halloween party. It was freezing, I didn't want to go. She's like, just go, just do it. And I went there and just saw all the costumes. I loved it, and I was always, I don't do holidays, I'm not a real big holiday person, but Halloween has always been like that go-to day. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start, just inviting people to my house, have costume parties. First one started off with like 15 people, second one was 18, the third one was like 25, and I said, you know what, alright, I need to actually do something about this. And then, I had 10 years of event management experience, so, I put two together and I started my cosplay group, Age of The Geeks, and then we just started putting together events, and then now we're just all over the place. We have a sister organization, the Age of The Geeks Orlando, down in Orlando, Florida as well. They have about 8 members. We have about 16 active cosplaying members, 18 members roster total. We have a makeup artist. We have an effects photographer. So it's like we have a lot of great things going on, and I just love cosplay because it makes you feel like a kid all over again. And on top of that, me, being 33 and just like loving everything geeky, being able to cosplay as someone and having kids' faces light up. Just like it was in Chicago this weekend, I was cosplaying as Spider-Man, and the kid's face lit up when I just took a picture with him and hugged him. So it's like that always gives me a really good feeling. So I love that, and I love dressing up into different characters and embodying those characters. It's such a cool feeling, It's like, hey, there's a chance that I saw these guys, these characters growing up in comic books, and now I get a chance to look like that person and be that person in real life and make people laugh, smile, and have fun with it.
Well, let's just face it, that reality is a bit overrated, and when I say overrated, I mean overrated always, ladies and gentlemen, and people know that. That's why we watch wrestling, that's why there's cosplay, That's why there's so many creative people out there. And I will ask this. Do you have a favorite costume out of all of the characters, personas that you have took on? And is there a character or costume that is probably the most difficult for you? So let's start with like favorite character for you to cosplay as.
I could probably say my first cosplay that I ever actually built when I was in Chicago in first period, and that has to be my Red Hood. Since retired it because it's just been I've done it for a long time, for about 3 years. And it's just like it's already broken down and worn. It looks battle torn, which looks cool. I'm just like, you know what? I'm good with it now. I'm fun with that. But I do like doing my Black Adam. It's always fun to do. It's a simple cosplay to do, and I love it. I do love doing my Green Lantern John Stewart because I was a Green Lantern fan first and foremost for a long, long time, stemming from the Justice League cartoons and Justice League Unlimited cartoons. But I would say my favorite one to do, which is like one of my most impressive ones to do, is Darth Maul. That is about 2.5 hours of makeup, but I am lucky that I have an amazing friend and a talented makeup artist in Maria Filipovich of MF Body Painting and Body Works. Like, she's an AOG member as well, Age of The Geeks member, and she just does great work, and we just, she helps me bring Darth Maul to life. And I truly do love doing Darth Maul, just the look on people's faces and everything like that. But the top one I have to say, because of Wizard World this weekend, is my Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, which we did. That took about 2.5 hours as well, and it's just, everybody's just like, oh, that is like the first time I've seen Piccolo done so well in a long time, or in general. So Piccolo now has a very, very, soft spot in my heart now. And cosplay that is very hard to do. For me, I really want to do a Kratos from God of War. It's just getting my body conditioned to get that big, kind of hard for me. But besides that, it's not really a cosplay that I'm like, oh my gosh, I really, really want it, except for like a Batman. But that's something that, with enough time and patience, I'll end up building and getting.
Yeah, I remember a lot of the horror stories that my co-host VictoriBelle would tell me about how she would get into costume and how she would get all these things put together. And I think even I think it was last year, this was when she first, I think, introduced me to you, was when she was did her, I think it was like her Dungeons and Dragons character, where she had the giant wings, and she was talking about how her back was just almost completely out of whack, just holding on to all those wings and how heavy they got. Yeah, for you guys, I definitely admire all the work and effort that you guys put in to being that committed to making the characters come to life, and all the commitment that you have, especially to the makeup. I've seen pictures of your Piccolo, and honestly, I'm not a high Dragon Ball Z fan, but one of the names, a lot of names that people would know, Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo. Those are characters that I'm at least familiar with, and when I saw your Piccolo and how it was turning out, I'm like, wow, it's almost legitimately like the same one from the animated series. It's really good. Definitely check that out, you guys. It's absolutely amazing. So now to play devil's advocate, has there been any cosplays that have been difficult for you to work with? I know you mentioned a lot of these take like maybe 2 hours of makeup work, but has there been anything that's been more difficult than that to pull off?
Me and Maria did work on Night King from Game of Thrones. That took about 3.5 hours.
Jeez.
After that, we were pretty exhausted on that. And doing Darth Maul full upper body, that took about 3.5, 4 hours as well. So that's a little exhausting. But a cosplay that I've actually tried to do, and I completely failed at it, I tried to put together a Black Manta. And that failed horribly. And I ended up just taking some of the my red hood, and it looked even better. So I was just like, oh, all right, cool, there we go. But sooner or later, I will do a black man thing. It's just not on my to-do list right now, since I'm very big on My Hero Academia. It's like literally my favorite anime right now, or anime right now. Period. Yeah, just period in general. And I'm planning on working on an All Might, which is going to be pretty good. And I'm excited about doing an All Might cosplay. And I'm actually going to be working on what's it called? A Simon Phoenix from Demolition Man cosplay and a Ruby Rod cosplay from Fifth Element on top of a Frozone cosplay too. So I'm gonna start throwing out some of the ones that people are like, Rob, you should do that. You should do that. It's gonna be so great. And yes, I'm gonna do a Purple Rain Prince with Pancake. Yes, I am. And a Rick James. Yes, I am. And a Jerome from the show Martin as well too. I'm gonna bring all those things down. I'm just gonna have fun in the next couple of months to the year in cosplay.
So, one final question that I usually like to ask cosplaying fans, or cosplayers, I should say, is when you look back on your cosplaying career, what is one thing that you want people to take away from everything that you've accomplished? What is something that you want people to look back on as you're riding off into the sunset, all is said and done? What is something that you want people to remember you for?
That I was able to help make people smile. I was able to provide awesome events with my awesome crew, and we were able to do awesome giveaways and awesome sweepstakes, and just give people a place that they could just smile and enjoy themselves and just be proud of being a geek.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And you definitely do a great job of that. All right, so we go from cosplaying to something that might not be the best transition, but you know what? We got all in this weekend, you guys, so it makes perfect sense. And like Rob Free mentioned, he's going to be going back in the ring in just a few months. So let me ask you this. What got you interested in going from watching wrestling to actually wanting to actually compete in the ring?
When I was younger, when I was about like 4 or 5, I told my mom, hey, I'm going to be a wrestler. And she didn't believe me, and I told my best friends, I'm going to be a wrestler, and they didn't believe me, and I like proving people wrong. So I became a wrestler, and it's been a great ride. You know, I debuted out in Johnny Rod's WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Rod's Federation out in Brooklyn back in December of 2009, and I had it was a 2-match show that I had. First I was in a battle royal to be the contender for the Northeastern belt, and I was the second one eliminated, and then it became a triple threat with me, the winner, and the second eliminated, and the champion, and I won the belt. So basically, my first night being a professional wrestler, I won my first title belt, which was pretty awe-inspiring and pretty sweet, pretty cool. So yeah, I love that. Like, I initially started my training at the Doghouse in Brooklyn, New York, where Low-Key and Homicide, amazing, talented, like legendary wrestlers, they train there. And you know, I trained there for a bit. I trained in Long Island with the House of Hardcore with Mikey Whipwreck for a bit, and I finished up my training with Johnny Rods, and then I went off to races, you know, and I was doing well until my car accident. Well, the car accident. Well, where August 8, 2010, I was hit by a car, run over by an SUV, left in for a coma for 2 days, and Dr. I wouldn't be able to walk for a year properly, run for a year and a half. Within 5 months, I was back to work, and within 8 months, I was back in the ring training.
Wow, that is quite the fast recovery. I mean, this happened about you mentioned this on Facebook one time. This happened like about 8 years ago. You said.
Yep, about 8 years ago. Yeah, and I definitely have to give props and special thanks to like the House of Glory guys. You know, Amazing Red, Joe Maximo, Brian Excel, because I was able to train over there for a bit, like while I was recovering. And, you know, those guys are just talented people, just motivated people. And I love what they're doing out there with their company. And just, they know they are training some really great talent out there. So much props to them. And, hey, because of that gym, I was able to, you know, get back into the high-flying status, even though I was a little ginger on that my foot. But, you know, everything was good, and I got back to it. And then now, moved to Chicago, and unfortunately, I've been out of the ring for 2 years. I kind of tore every ligament in my right shoulder, my upper shoulder, in a match with Iron Demon Shane Mercer, which was my 500th professional wrestling match ever. And I actually popped all those ligaments about 2 minutes into the match, and it was a tables match. So, and we went another 15 minutes after that injury. And then after that injury happened, we went through 2 tables. I went through 2 tables. And still, after that, had another 2 to 3 minute talk and promo after. And then screamed to my lady, I need to go to the hospital. I am done with wrestling. I quit. Never again. Never again. And then now 2 years later that I'm actually, you know, I took 2 years to actually just focus on my cosplay and what I was doing with my group, the Age of The Geeks. And then now, you know, I'm ready to get back in the ring. I'm working hard, and in a few months I'll be back at the Resistance. And it's going to be one hell of a ride, man. It's going to be one hell of a ride.
That sounds absolutely awesome. So, one thing that I definitely noticed that with a lot of, you know, injuries and a lot of times when people get hurt in the ring, they find themselves having to limit their wrestling ability. Like a lot of high flyers have to resort to usually like technical style or just their fast-paced deal. Do you feel that with your body in the state that it's in, that you have to change up your style just a little bit from all the high flying that you've done?
Oh, well, I haven't been that much of a high flyer. Let's just put that out on the table right now. I do some nice aerial maneuvers, but I'm not a Ricochet or a Osprey, you know.
Okay.
But but I will say that because of my body right now, the way that I am, I will say that I will probably be more technical. But that's something I've always wanted to do anyway, because my favorite Canadian wrestler and favorite Japanese wrestler and favorite American wrestlers, which are Bret Hart, Great Muta, and Kurt Angle, respectively, they're all great technical wrestlers. Muta was a more high flyer. You know, Angle, he could fly too. Bret, he hit the ropes sometimes, question mark. But, you know, still, I like being the technical person. I like telling the story in the ring. You know, I don't like doing all these different high-flying spots and, you know, it not to amount to something. If I'm going to hit the air, or if I'm coming off the top rope, it's going to be a reason why I'm coming off the top rope, or a reason why I'm in the air. If not, my job is to wear you down until I can get the pin, or I'm going to make you submit. And that's something that I'm actually going to really incorporate into my new repertoire, is a lot of submissions, because I do have a slight MMA background, like in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so it's like, I'm actually going to go back into training in some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym before my comeback, so I'm going to be incorporating a lot of submissions, and I should be actually going up against Cobra, that's his name. He actually is he's trained in Muay Thai too. So it's going to be interesting how our styles clash. I don't like the guy. He thinks he's the shit. He doesn't like me because he knows I'm the shit. So it's going to be interesting what happens between me and him when we actually touch gloves or lock horns, as they say. But until there's a contract signed by the Resistance, officially bringing me back into the company and make this match official, it's just all up in the air. So I'm telling the Resistance right now, get this match signed. Bring me back in and let me tear Cobra into pieces. I literally want to make him tap. There's some people that you kind of want to, as John Cena, put him down for a 3-second tan. Cobra, I just want to make him tap. I just want to know that I twisted his body in such a way that he had to say, I give up.
This might be the first time ever that we haven't actually recorded, like, shoot promo against another wrestler, and I'm absolutely loving it right now. I think I want more of these incorporated on the show, because this just makes me want to, see this matchup that much more. And you mentioned storytelling in the ring, and we actually had this conversation a bit when we hung out during TakeOver as well as Money in the Bank. You're definitely more of a heel guy. You definitely like being more of the bad guy, and it definitely goes to show. When I think one of the first videos I posted up on my YouTube page was you basically just screaming out, "Yeah, Ciampa won! Y'all thought Gargano was gonna win, didn't you? Oh, don't cry, don't cry." Just relevant in the fact that Gargano lost and Ciampa won. I'm like, wow, this guy is just trying to build up the heat right now. I love it.
Did I really need to try though? It's like the reason why I like being a heel is because everybody likes to support the good guy. Without a good bad guy, the good guy is nobody. So, and in my regular daily life, it's like I'm a good person. I do charitable things. I go out of my way for my friends and even strangers at times, a lot of the time. And it's just like when I'm in the ring, I honestly I get to be like the biggest ass ever, and it's so great. It's fun. It's exciting. It's like anybody could get you to clap and say yay, but to get someone to boo you, and I'm talking about really boo you, it's an art. It's a simple thing. I could get someone to really hate me without even saying a single word, just by body movement, and that's something that I've learned throughout the years. And that's why a lot of older people, I wouldn't call myself a veteran, but I am seasoned since I've been wrestling for 9 years. But a lot of seasoned wrestlers, they're usually heels because they're the ones that are literally dictating the match. They're the ones that are always overturning the face and always kicking the face's butt, and the crowd hangs on the bad guy. If you have a shitty bad guy, the match is dead. You hear nothing. You hear crickets. We've heard this on many WWE pay-per-views before. So, it's like, why? Because you have either a good guy that nobody gives a shit about, or a bad guy that nobody gives a shit about, or both. So, I like being the good guy because I like extracting reactions from people. I like making people feel something, good or bad, at the end of my matches. And at the end of my matches, most of the time I usually get a, wow, dude, that was awesome. That was so cool. And, I get adulations from people because, I put on a good story. And that's what we do. We put on amazing stories for our fans and for the public because we're athletes. We're athletes and we beat the shit out of each other just to entertain everybody else.
Wow, very deep, very deep. And also, I'm going to have to start saying Rob Fury, he is the Heath Ledger Joker of Chicago wrestling right now. Just having that logic that you had where you said, for every good guy, you need to have a bad guy to balance it off. You need to have that person. I don't want to destroy you. You need me just like I need you. And literally, if you found a way to cut a promo like that, I'll just be like, Rob Fury is my favorite wrestler to come out of Chicago. I don't care what anybody says. Just this, watch this promo. This is all you need right now. But basically, Heath Ledger Joker, I don't care. It works. It works. I know him. It works. All right, so we are just about out of time for this episode of The Game Changer. But before we do that, usually I like to have a lot of my guests indeed do plugs for anything that they have coming up as far as special events or things that they're doing. But I understand that you actually have a big event coming up this weekend. So by all means, Rob Fury, the floor is yours. What's going on this weekend?
Oh, snap. This weekend? No, this weekend I'm actually, it's not an event, I'm actually doing a small shoot that I'm doing, for a short film, but the next actual event, the big event I'm going to be at is going to be October 20th. I'm going to be at the Wheaton Halloween, festival, in Wheaton, Illinois. That's going to be fun. I'm going to be hosting the cosplay contest with my fellow Age of The Geeks. And then we're going to be hitting up, actually, Ace Comic-Con as well on October 7th and 8th. We're doing that. And then we are doing Chicago Pop Culture Con in St. Charles, Illinois, Thanksgiving Day weekend. And our last stop, and the last time I'm going to be at, is going to be PocketCon. The first, that's in the Multicultural Center in Chicago, downtown. And that is, I believe, the first week, the first Saturday of December. And my matches to know when I'm actually going to come back, I still am waiting for the Resistance to sign me. So hopefully I should get some notification. But if everybody follows me on my social media, that's Rob Fury Talent, ROBFURY Talent, at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I will let everybody know when the hell this is going to be happening and when there's going to be a contract signing, so we can make it official for the ASS American Superstar to come back to wrestling. And how do we, como se dice en español, light this place up in fuego style.
Yep, you heard it from here, guys. You know how to follow him, and you know how to follow us on The Game Changer. So, from all of us here at The Game Changer, thank you, Rob Fury, for your time. It's always an honor and a privilege to talk to you. And always, my friend, good luck to you with everything that you got going on. And hopefully, we get a chance to see you in the ring in the next couple months.
Thank you very much for having me on. It's always a pleasure being on the show.
All right, guys, so for Rob Fury, I've been Nate the Effing Great. This has been The Game Changer, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. It's All In weekend this weekend, so be sure to tune in to a lot of stuff that I'm going to be posting. Bye-bye.